And we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Halloween Bangers in July. Tonight we're going to go over the movies of Dawn of the Dead 1978 and the 2004 remake. So, with further ado, we have M3 and the Prophet Director with us, and we have the chat to help discuss. So, let's get into it. How you doing today, M3?
I'm good. I did link this to the channel over yonder. What's up, TKD Bar? What's up, MCDJ? And it says I am live, so I'm just checking that out right now. And I won't use it, but I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm great. How you doing, Prophet Director?
Oh, I guess I'm all right. I mean, you have to deal with Cobra Commander on a daily basis. You can only be so good, I mean, he is a freaking buffoon.
He's a buffoon.
But he was once a man.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if he was ever a man.
Oh man.
Pops is here. What up, Pops? What up, TKD Bar?
Right. Maybe he identifies as a man, but I kind of question it.
He said he was once a man. Maybe he's not no more.
Well, that's my argument. When? I've never seen him act like a man.
What's up, Johnny Ohm? He said, "Sup, bitches?" Hey, TKD Bar, Puppet Master. Let's discuss. So, getting into it, Johnny Ohm, TKD Bar, and Pops. Have you guys seen the 1974 version, 1978 version of Dawn of the Dead? One of my favorite top 10s is the 2004 rendition of it, and I watched that every year, and I just watched it the other night because we were talking about it here. And every time I watch it, for me, it's great. I'm never like, oh, it's kind of boring, I'm going to get up. I absolutely love the movie. When we watched the 1978 one the other night on Curtis Backstage, it was good. My only problem with it is my brain now sees digital and technology as a plus when it comes to movies. And 1978 version is still where they're literally putting makeup on people, doing still shots, shooting over here, and then it's like a still shot and you see the blood come out the back, which is perfect for its time. But that's when we had black and white UHF, VHF TVs, and you couldn't see detail. Now when you watch it on your computer or your 4K TV and shit, you're like, it's calm. Yes. But so is Terminator, the first one as well, when he's standing in front of the mirror and he's doing his eyeball thing and shit, 100%, or whatever he's doing and shit. But yeah, that's my take on it so far. And it did vary a little bit, or it did have similarities with the two movies. You could see where they kind of like picked a lot of stuff off. But I think that the 2004 model went just better. I'm glad that I didn't watch the first one first. I'm glad I watched the second one first.
See, I'm the polar opposite on that.
Uh-huh.
See, because the 1978 version was like it was a character-based film, that touched on the social commentary of the time. The acting was really good in it, and the thing about the 2004 one, it's all style over substance. It's not even a horror film. And Zack Snyder is so interested in like how the film looks that he doesn't care if things make sense in it. Like a great example, there's one shot of slow motion in the whole damn film, and it's just a slow motion shot of Ving Rhames firing a shotgun, and you don't even see what he's shooting, and it makes no sense. It goes nowhere afterwards. It's like, why did you need to make that slow motion? It's like, it's nonsense. Now I will admit that the cold open for the 2004 version, when she her husband gets bit by the little girl and then she runs and her husband's chasing her down the street, but then gets distracted by some other prey that's not in a car and turns off and kills the other woman. Yeah. The shot where the aerial shot where the van blows the red light and smashes into that other car and then rams into the gas station and explodes. It's like, great. But then, then the movie's full of all these fucking unnecessary explosions. And honestly, there was a bit on the DVD where they did like a side story. It was a character piece on Andy, the guy who was across the street the whole film. And that was better done than the entire movie. And that was not directed by Zack Snyder. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's the style over substance to me. It's like, it might as well be Michael Bay, right? If all you're showing me is visuals and you're not telling me a story that makes any kind of sense, like, I just don't care, and so many of the characters, like, so a great example is the guy who played Max Headroom. He shows up, and within minutes, they're like, oh, well, he's been bit, he has to die, right? And they like do this little thing where the daughter's like, no, and he's like, I'm all she has, and they're trying to make you feel like some kind of emotion for the guy fucking needing to die in order for the rest of them to live, right? And you don't even know this character, so there's no emotional attachment to him. And then as soon as that's done, they cut right from the sound of the gunshot of him dying to everybody partying, including his daughter that was just crushed by her father's death. Right? It's like, what the fuck are you even doing, man? and why is he so fucking hung up on making fucking slow ass Bob Dylan music roll over his opening credits? Right? He did the exact same shit in Watchmen, only he did it a million times better in Watchmen. I don't even understand. Like, I used to love that movie, but on rewatch of the 2004 Dawn of the Dead, I'm like, yeah, this does not hold up for me. This is, it has a lot of good visuals, a lot of interesting kills, but overall, it's like so many things were just done for shock value, like the zombie baby out of the pregnancy. It's like, come on, man. And fucking Tyrese all of a sudden like loses his mind and kills the old woman for no fucking reason. It's like, I don't get it, man. Like, a second ago, this girl just loses her father, and 2 minutes later, you're all partying like it's fucking 1999. But then this guy can clearly see his wife is dead and zombified, and he loses his shit and fucking kills somebody. And then why do you give the chain when they're in the van? Why do you give the fucking chainsaw to the fat retarded guy, and then he hacks the fucking hot girl in half with it for no fucking reason? It's like, why did you give the chainsaw to this fucking moron?
That was a killer scene.
And that guy was like trying on high-heeled shoes during the party scene. Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
He's covering it.
Like, I don't even fucking get half of the fucking movie. It's like, and here's the thing, right? They go down into the parking garage to fucking flip the breaker or whatever. And there's all those zombies down there, so much so that they had to light them all on fire. And then 10 minutes later, they're like, oh, let's go down there and work on the van. Then they do this fucking A-Team montage, and there's no fucking zombies. I'm like, weren't there just a fucking herd of them down here like 5 minutes ago? Like, fuck that movie, man.
Got it.
The original is a fucking masterpiece. It's probably the best zombie movie ever. Granted, the effects, don't really hold up. The one thing I will say about the 2004 version, I'm glad they gave Tom Savini his cameo. He was the fucking cop, like on the news reel or in the early parts.
Yeah, there's a Twitcher.
Tom Savini was in the original too. He was like actually one of the characters in the original.
Yeah.
So it was good that they at least gave him a cameo in the film. But yeah, I'm sorry, M3. I 100% disagree with you on this one, and I'm sure that most of the people will agree with you. Because Dawn of the Dead 2004, most people think it's fucking amazing. But for me, it's just, a bunch of like, explodey visuals with fucking no substance whatsoever.
What up, Kaz? What up, Rob78? What up, Lone Dragon?
What up? Hey, shout out to Moto Viper. Sorry, I thought I sent it to you, but I guess I didn't. But I just sent you the email, so jump on if you're listening.
Yeah, Lone Dragon. Yeah, Mekhi Phifer to me just looks like Tyrese.
Oh, what do you think, Kurt?
I like the 2004, but I mean, there's a lot of parts I agree with Prophet Director, but it's just a fun zombie movie. That's the way I see it is. Like,
But the thing is, if I'm looking for just a fun zombie movie, there's way better ones.
Like Shaun of the Dead,
Zombieland. I mean, Zombieland's opener, like Zombieland did the fucking music over the montage.
Yeah.
So much better. You know, I'm sorry, but fucking Metallica playing over the zombie kills, like that shit was great.
Yeah. What's up,
but
Cass?
This one, like after the cold open, it's just a lot of fucking
Big M, Rob 78.
Scratchy black and white footage with like fucking all hacked together poorly to Bob Dylan music. It's like, dude, why?
What's the Chinese guy's name in Hangover?
Something Kim.
Big M says, "What's up, gay boys?" in his voice. What up, Big M?
What's up, Big M? Hey, where is Too Many? I did send him through Instagram because that's the only way I send it through.
I don't know, but they better be wearing their Raw Talk shirts, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
bangers, bitches.
Oh, Ken Jeong. That's who it is.
Kim Jong. He's great.
Dr. Ken.
So getting back to the movie, and not an argument's defense at all, but the 2004, the worst thing about the 2000 or the 1978 one for me was their beginning, because it was chaos in a newsroom. It was like when we talk with 10 people on here and everything's just going.
Hey, Moto, sorry about that.
No worries, bro.
It was an accident.
And everybody's just clamoring. You're like, what is going on? And then the kill shots start coming in. I was like, why are the cops on the roof why are they there already? And so I had to put myself back in the, okay, start actually following what's going on. It has nothing to do except for the tidbits of the 2004 one. It's completely different. So I had to put my brain in like, okay, this is more or less a different story. The way it starts out and all that kind of stuff, but it made sense. But that was the worst part of the movie for me. Too much fucking, and I was like, shit, it's not stopping. I think it was like 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes of that movie was in that newsroom, and everybody was mad and shit was flying, and they were talking shit to the doctor, and the doctor was talking shit back and saying, no, we're just trying to tell you to kill these motherfuckers. Don't care about the morality of it. Just kill them because it's going to take over, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's because that was the extended cut.
Oh.
The original theatrical release, which came out on April 7th, 1979, was shorter, but it was the 78. They call it the 78 film because first it was released in Italy and Japan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, because it was produced by the guy that did Suspiria.
Yeah, Italian guy. So,
excuse me. What's your take on it, Moto?
They're both very special to me. I love them both, just for different reasons. I talked about it as a kid playing on that Saturday morning. After cartoons were done, we're outside playing.
Yeah,
I've come in and there's my dad and uncle watching this movie, and this guy is getting his arm ripped off from this pulse machine, back in the mall. And so I just sat down in front of the TV and just was terrified. My skin was crawling, but I started my whole zombie genre in life with that movie on that Saturday morning.
Wow. And
when I saw it in 2004, sorry about that. When I saw them in 2004, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great remake. Some of the things were a little bit corny, you know what I mean? Some of the things were slightly humorous, but I did like how the graphics were better. There was a lot. I agree with Prophet that there wasn't like a lot of nonsensical things that happened, like the baby. the baby, so that way, he ends up shooting the truck driver lady, and the truck driver lady ends up shooting him. That whole thing. Where it was more about 78 was more about survival as a group, whereas this kind of like fell apart and went to shit. They came up with an escape plan, and like you said, that went to shit. But at the same time, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a good zombie movie for what we had in 2004, 2005.
Yeah, I kind of felt like because the original, it was like about how people as a group will crumble under pressure, because of their own self-interest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Agreed,
That
yeah.
was the social commentary of it. The whole bit where like, they're coming to the mall because that was what they remembered when they were alive. You know what I mean? They barely touched on that in the new one,
Yeah.
And not only that, but like the fast zombies, like the only reason Zack Snyder did that was because 28 Days Later came out 2 years earlier.
Now that's one thing I did forget to say, and I agree with you. I don't like running zombies. Those are called infected. Zombies
Exactly.
have rigor mortis. They're decaying. They're rotting. They're moving very slow.
Yeah, because the ones in 28 Days Later weren't dead.
Yeah.
It was like a rabies virus, but really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I never put that into perspective, but knowing that zombies are supposed to be slow and fucking lethargic and as a group of them they can attack, not one. And so especially in like it's kind of like in I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Mhm.
Those are not zombies, but you kind of put your body. I put my mind into they're zombies, but they're not. They're a creature that got something happened with the world. There's a virus, so they're that kind of zombie. So I do believe there are.
Yeah, well, they were mutants, not zombies.
Okay,
Yeah.
there are variations of zombies now. You got and there's movies that describe explain it. Even Zombieland had some fast zombies, like the guys get chased on the football field and the fuck guys do shit, But he's infected, like you said. I never put that part into perspective. That he's not a zombie yet, but he's damn well gonna be. But he is the undead, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's, I feel like zombies, in my opinion, you guys are well seasoned. I just look at visuals, and I'm a visual guy, so I'm like, hey, zombies. Zombies can be fast, slow, stupid, smart. I really like Zombie or Z Nation, like World War Z with Brad Pitt. It's probably my favorite zombie movie.
Z Nation's another comedy zombie TV show.
Prophet
They got
Director?
the Z-weed. They got the Z-weed up in there.
I have more respect for the special effects and gore in the 78 than I do in the 2004.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do practical than it is to do digital.
Right.
Shout out to
And
Savini.
Snyder tends to lean on that digital shit like hard in every movie.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's his thing.
What would be your like saying like is my favorite, one of my favorite is World War Z, that comparison to the 2004 zombie, they're more military. It's like a whole military derived movie in World War Z.
Well, I think World War Z, the book was way better than the movie.
You read the book?
Yeah.
Amazing. That's great. How many pages?
Yeah, because a bunch of different
It's a long
perspectives,
book.
right? Right, Curtis?
that?
Am I right? I remember correctly. It's different perspectives from 4 different individuals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, another thing that kind of gets lost a little bit when you remake just one piece of a trilogy, right? Because think about how George Romero released the original movies, right? It was Night of the Living Dead, and that was when it all started. Then there's Dawn of the Dead, the first day where everyone's zombified, and then there's Day of the Dead, where the whole world is over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they're meant to be consecutive, right? They're meant to be, 3 different periods in the same zombie infection story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would like to add one more to that, and that would be the dystopian. That would be Land of the Dead, dystopian zombie times, if you will.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's George Romero. George Romero's Land of the Dead is fucking perfect. I think it's perfect. It's great.
Well, and talk about a terrible fucking remake. The remake of Land of the Dead was awful. Where they had like the first person shooter fucking shit going on in the movie, like Doom.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen a remake of Land of the Dead.
Or no, maybe that's Island of the Dead or something.
Oh, Island of the Dead? That is
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right because they get to the boat and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
that
fucking
Prophet.
awful, man.
It's awful. You're right.
And like, dude, another problem I had with the 2004 version, it's like, dude, they got on the boat. We had the tearful moment. The dude that kills himself because he was bit, and on the pier. But then you have to show us. You have to ruin the mood by showing us the footage of them all getting killed when they get to the island. It's like, are you serious, dude? Come on, man.
Damn.
Yeah, Vin Rames is like, get behind me. I'd be running back to the boat and jumping on the boat and pushing it out.
Right? Just why not just fucking anchor offshore,
Yeah.
Fucking A.
But again, that's the problem is you can't wait out these zombies because they're fucking super fast, right? Clearly, rigor mortis is not having any effect on these corpses.
Yeah, and they're within 2 weeks they should be skeletons, but they're not.
Yeah, the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead was really good. Tony Todd was fantastic in that.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That's a remake that I think is on par with the original.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't lose. That's the thing, because that remake did not lose the social commentary that the original had.
Right.
You know what I mean? The tragic ending, of the guy who survived getting killed by because they thought because the people coming to the rescue thought he was a zombie. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
What a tragic ending. You know what I mean? And like, the remake didn't lose that. You know what I mean? The remake, like, all the remake did was make Barbara less of an idiot.
True.
Right? Because in the original, Barbara's like, I would have thrown that bitch to the zombies. I'd be like, you're in here just fucking shit up. Just get out.
Yeah.
I think the actor that played the dad in the new one was phenomenal, playing the asshole dad. I thought he did a great job for remaking that. Because back in that black and white film, he couldn't really be that guy. You know what I mean? You couldn't do that on film. But in the Tony Todd one, the guy was able to come across more of an ass, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Well, another problem I have with the 2004 Dawn of the Dead is the mall security guards. Right? They're actually worried about them shoplifting. It's like, dude, the end of the world is outside. You're worried about fucking dude. You actually think you still need to do this security job? Who's gonna sign your fucking paycheck, dude? Your boss is a fucking zombie. Like, why are you still worried about that shit? You know what I mean? What's with the trick waving? You want your group as big as possible, in that type of situation.
I agree.
Yeah.
But you got these,
what about you?
Idiot security guards fucking dick measuring. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up and let people in.
Yeah.
I've always said that you got to have
one security guard was straight. The one security guard was straight.
Well, that's why I said the two security guards.
Right. Yeah.
The new hire.
Yeah, the new hire was cool.
Hey, but
that new hire was kind of a pervert, right? He's watching old girl change on the security cameras
today.
He hooks up with that girl like right after her father gets killed.
Oh shit! Was I gonna say something about? Oh, okay. Getting at, like, if I was in the zombie situation and I secured the mall, I might think twice and do what the head security guard was doing and kind of being a dick, because the way that I see, like, if anything happened around here, I've got to pre-think that anybody's coming to get my wife, my wife and kids, my family, and my shit that I have already obtained for security, right? And now they're infiltrating in. I got to tell no to everybody, and it's like, no, I'm so sorry. And
you wouldn't let survivors in,
dude. He didn't have his wife and kids with him.
No, true. But I feel the same I feel him, and he's like, okay, you guys can come in, but you're locked up. I don't trust nobody right now. I should.
No,
trust
that's some short-sighted ass shit. How many fucking doors does a mall have?
a lot.
And you're just gonna keep 3 dudes loose? How does that make any sense, man? You've got all these fucking entrances you need to watch.
True. Yeah, you're right.
You want, in that situation, you want your group to be as big as possible.
Hell
And
yeah,
you don't want to be a fucking douchebag that makes the other people want to kill you.
or let
Right?
you,
You
you
want to
know,
be amicable. You want to be political in that situation.
Okay, so then here's my. Oh, go ahead, Curtis. You know, I'll give my.
I was just gonna say, in the original one, you had that whole biker gang come through and just.
I wish I was
their intention was to hurt whoever was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing, right? That's because they were like a gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were hurting people before the zombie apocalypse happened.
Right.
You know, that's part of that social commentary of the original film that the original film had.
Right.
You know what I mean? These guys were just a couple of security guards that happened to be working the day the shit started.
Yeah.
So you know, they weren't like a gang or anything.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
this
it's the
was
same problem I have with 28 Days Later. You know, it's not even been a month, and now this whole group of military guys are already and willing to rape a 13-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would they deteriorate to that level that fast?
Right.
You know, these are guys with military training. They're used to going like 6 months without seeing the opposite sex.
Right.
You know, so and here we're supposed to believe in less than a month they're already turned into animals, you know?
Yeah, I was just trying to say that's the difference between the two movies. Little things like that. One, you had a gang that intended on hurting people, and then you just had a group of people, and the other one that just wanted help to get in.
Yeah, right. In the old one, there was a reason.
Right.
Right. That's the thing Snyder doesn't put in any of his movies is like a reason. Right. It's just, ooh, look at the explosions. You know, that's what I say when I say style over substance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Snyder, totally.
Yeah, well, just making a point on something we were talking about 3 minutes ago was letting people in. Yeah, he let the first group in, but then they let the second group in with the heavier set woman that was in the wheelbarrow that already was infected. And now the security guard's like, "Fuck! I told you guys. This is why we wanted it to be sustained."
Well, you remember at that point the security guard and the 2 security guards were locked up in the cage at that point.
Yeah, because they fucked up, man. In my opinion.
But well, you remember they hadn't figured out that it was a bite that turned him yet when they let that old woman in.
Yeah.
Real quick, Ninja Bill he's not familiar with Dawn of the Dead, 1978 or 2004. Really good movie if you want to check it out. Check them both out, Ninja Bill. But obviously you're not attracted to zombies if you don't know of the book, the movie, or right, Ninja Bill? Are you not a zombie fan? What's up, Belucius? But yeah, Ninja Bill, good movies if you want just quick entertainment. You know.
Yeah, Ninja Bill, good entertainment. You know, you gotta. I know, like if you like older genre movies, like you respect the older movies, you'll probably like watching the 70s.
It impacted
and
my
if you
life.
want a hilarious rendition of a zombie film, watch that Return of the Living Dead right there.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
That shit's funny as hell, man. All the zombies running around, like the zombies in that one talk, but pretty much all they say is brains.
Yes.
And send more cops and paramedics.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick. So shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, guys. Damn.
Hey, Kirk, as much as we like TKD Bar, can you take his thing down so we can see Motoviper?
Oh no, you're fine, bro. It's good. You're good. That's what I was gonna ask everybody was this movie impacted my life to when I walked in on that Saturday morning, and I was stuck on zombies ever since. What has there ever been a movie like that as you as a kid that genre stuck, whether it be like a wrestling movie, a truck driving movie, a boxing movie? Like what? Like
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
now I like
there's
kung fu. Now I like kung fu movies. You know what I mean? Because you saw a
Mhm.
kung fu movie.
Yeah.
What
had all
scary
that.
movie? What scary movie would that be for you guys? Because I'm
For
telling you,
me,
the Out of the Dead looked to me.
it would be Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, 1972. And it was done by a group of college students. And it for then in 1972, it was done really well. They had really good graves of zombies coming out of the graves. It was great.
So zombies are your thing too?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it could have been. A lot of people probably don't like it because it's old, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's you could
We know how
tell
like some
they're
people it's
college
vampires, some people it's werewolves or ghosts or aliens. You know. So
werewolves are my
you're a zombie
favorite.
guy too?
Yeah, my favorite are werewolves, which would be the Wolfman, the original Wolfman.
Werewolves. Okay. Okay. See that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, what
Yeah,
horror movie impacted you and say, okay, werewolves are my thing. I
Oh,
love fucking werewolves.
okay,
well, for
I'll go
me,
next.
go ahead, M3.
Thank you, thank you. First of all, Lax Sivrak, what's up, man? I know you're driving. He says, "What's up, fam? Driving but listening. That's great. I love
yes.
it. What up, Lack? Hey, Lack or Matt? Lack. I don't know how often you come. Well, I'm not gonna. I'll stop. I was gonna do some jokes, but I'll stop. Lack. You know, some roadhead jokes while you're driving. But dream shit for me. So Freddie, when I was impacted, and my wife as well, at 11 years old when we watched Freddie, the first one, and it was dream shit gets me. That's my if I'm scared shit, I'm like motherfuckers, it just happens in your dream. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. You got it.
For me, all right. So let me start with this. When I was 5 years old, my mother was reading a book, and I was like, "What are you reading, Mom? Read it to me." And she's like, "I can't read this to you." And I'm like, "Why not?" She's like, "Well, it's a horror book, and you'll be afraid of it." And I was like, "No, I won't." And then a couple of like maybe a year and a half later, the movie came out, and I snuck and watched the movie because it was the same title as the book my mother was reading. And I'm like, all right, I'll get to see what it was that she was so terrified of letting me see. I'm talking about The Shining.
I knew you were talking.
Now,
Okay.
the reason that The Shining was scary to me, right? And movies like Halloween and Friday the 13th, The Nightmare on Elm Street, great, but never scared me because all the victims in those movies were adults, right? But The Shining, it's this poor little kid and his mother, so I related to that. And in particular, the scene where he goes into room, what is that room number? 314 or whatever it was. And the old woman comes out of the bathtub, and that shit freaked me the fuck out.
Oh God, yes.
The twins?
And the fact that I had like an abusive stepfather, like that was another thing that like
Let's
I
say no
related
more.
to Danny Torrance.
Yeah.
So it was like The Shining for me was the one that like impacted me and gave me massive nightmares for weeks after. But the thing is, you get that endorphin rush from fear, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's why the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Freddy, the Jason, the Michael Myers, none of them did it for me the way that The Shining did, because there was nothing for me to fear there. The children weren't the victims, but The Shining, that like terrified me as a kid. And yeah, that's pretty much the one that got me addicted to the endorphin rush that comes from fear.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Well, for fear for me is zombies, but I just think like the Wolf Man is the coolest thing ever.
Hell yeah.
But that movie 1972, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, that scared the shit out of me. And I saw it when I was like 4, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sticks with you to this day. Dude, that is a huge impact.
Just to iterate on that title, there's literally a porno called "Girls Shouldn't Play with Dead Things," and these starts out with these two girls going to the junkyard, and there's a junkyard courier going, "Hey, don't be walking around here. There's some weird shit going on." And they're like, "We're fine." And they come across a head and they kick it. And they're like, they scream and they run, and zombies are coming after them, and the zombies fall. It was great.
Oh shit! Well, this takes Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. You can watch it on YouTube. It takes place. These college students go to an island, and they're going to stay at the house that's on the island. And the whole island's a cemetery. And the thing is they go out and they got this book. It looks like the Book of the Dead, and they're daring themselves to read it and stuff. And they read it, and little do they know it actually is going to bring up these zombies. But they dig a body up, right? And they open the casket, and a guy comes alive, right? But it's just one of their friends joking around. So after all that's done, they take the other body, the real body, and they take it to the house and put it in the upstairs. And the guy does some weird shit. He thinks he's funny. He's like, "I'm marrying this zombie," and all this shit. Well, they put the zombie in the upstairs bedroom, and then you kind of forget about it all the way till the end of the movie. But the other guys that are putting the dirt back in the grave, that's when all the zombies start coming up, and they get fucked up. It's gory, and they break through. Oh my god!
Is it American made or Italian made?
It's American made.
Because some of those Italian movies have the best gory zombies.
Yeah, I think it was the University of New York.
Oh, okay, cool.
College kids for filming school. They filming school there.
Did you guys ever do any or ever watch any of the zombie movies from overseas in the 70s?
Yes.
80s?
Zombies 2.
Those Italian ones where they're just gory as shit. It looks like red paint. Literally looks like red paint, but
yeah,
it's just big time everywhere. Yeah.
They did one good one where it surprises the crap out of you. This guy's walking through the house and he's looking, and he opens the door, and it's a female zombie, but she was like freshly killed. She's freshly turned into a zombie, and she was eating this body, but he couldn't tell. But she was naked, and she was bent over, her ass was up, and he's like, goes in there, starts banging her, and then she turns around, and then she gets like right where she's still like down towards the ground. She gets like head level with his, you know what? He sees her face, and he's like, oh. And she goes and she just bites off his dick, dude, and it pulls it. It shows it pulling it apart. It was like, oh, where the fuck did that go?
We gotta watch that, Kurt.
It shows the latex rip and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's weird because
there's a lot of talk in the chat right now about Cape Fear.
Oh,
a lot of people talking about the original. Some people talking about the remake with De Niro. Interesting story about that. De Niro's wife took the kids to her mother's house while De Niro was shooting that, because De Niro's a method actor, and they were genuinely afraid of him.
Oh wow!
While he was shooting Cape Fear.
Yeah, he let the demon inside of him to do that. He did some bad shit in that movie. So that's what I was going to say. So Sivrak, here's a picture of Robert Mitchum, because this is one from the one that he's talking about. This was Robert De Niro's character in Cape Fear. And I didn't know there was another Cape Fear out. Lack.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The De Niro one was a remake.
I had no idea.
He shaved his teeth down in Cape Fear TKD bar. He didn't get a tattoo, but that Liberty or the tilting scales of Liberty on his back. And he was doing those fucking pull-ups and shit.
Yeah.
But he also fucking messed with the girl that was the daughter who was underage. And I was like, that's Hollywood for you. They start spitting that shit right in your face, right? Which is fine. You have to go for the movie. It's a movie. I get it. So I'm not really cutting that down. But just saying, for for Robert De Niro as who he is now, he's kind of a shitty dude, you know. But
I know, we sure shame.
Well, he's an idiot, you know.
yeah, I like this guy.
You ask the man a simple question, like, why do you think, because you're this much against one guy. Why do you think that there's so many people for him? And his answer is, well, they're idiots.
Yeah.
It's like, really, dude? You can't think of any reason why people might be against the fucking. It's like, dude, you have to have had your head in the hole for the last 4 years. Nice Viper costume. But
Yeah.
I think the best zombie movies made like recently are coming out of Korea. Like Train to Busan, like come on, Train to
I was
Busan,
gonna bring that up.
amazing zombie movie.
That is a great movie. Great movie. Couldn't agree more. For everybody,
Yeah, that's probably the best zombie movie of the last 10 years.
Oh yes, hands down. Hands down. Is that good? I'm so glad you brought that up.
Wait, which one? I'm sorry.
Train to Busan. It's a Korean zombie movie.
I've seen the thumbnails for that every Halloween. I think it's only been out 2 years. Correct?
Watch it, M3. Watch it.
Okay.
If you think World War Z is a good zombie movie, watch Train to Busan and see what an actual good zombie movie looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't even have to understand the language. It's that good of a story written movie.
Oh, is it subtitled? Because I don't mind subtitles. I like reading.
Yeah, it's subtitled.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it with a dub.
Yeah.
If you don't mind the lips not matching the words.
No, I don't mind reading. I don't mind reading subtitles at all.
But yeah, it's the best zombie movie of the past decade easily.
Lone Dragon. You watch your mom's mouth. You said World War Z is a shit zombie movie. It's great. It's got a great story. The way that they come out of it is he injects himself. That's great. Great. Oh, Lone Dragon. Shame on you. Just kidding.
No, I'm kind of with Lone on that one, man.
Okay. That's fine.
World War Z is not a good movie, man.
Yeah.
Lone Dragon read the book too, man. That's great, Lone.
M3, you're just way too easy to please, man.
I know. Oh yeah.
All they have to give you is like some colorful pictures and some explodey stuff, and you're happy.
Some titties, and I'm done. You throw some titties in there and some booty. I am attracted to that movie, and I love it forever.
Yeah, like Dawn of the Dead 2004 has movies in it.
Mm-hmm. Right in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, right. Like, and that's another thing. There's fucking undead cannibals outside trying to eat you, and you're fucking.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta procreate, man. You gotta make sure our spawn, our shit goes on, man.
Cobra Viper, how come you're not talking?
Maybe not today at 52, but
Cobra
back
Viper.
then, hell yeah.
Get the
on top of that, like
M3.
there's a shot in the credits where the girl whose father gets killed in the early movie is topless, and we established that girl's underage, like while her dad's still alive. So why are they showing an underage girl topless?
I don't remember that. That was during the credits?
During the end credits, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see
flashing
that.
all those scenes, they show her titties like bouncing in front of the screen for a minute.
Oh yeah, how do you know she's underage?
The father implies it when he's telling her, when he's like, she's lost everybody, she lost her brothers, her mother, I'm all she has left.
Oh,
It's implied that she's a teenager. He said she's a teenager.
Yeah.
But she's not showing. She doesn't show her tits. Only the.
She does in the end credits. I literally just finished watching it.
Okay.
That
Before
wasn't
I
her.
came on here.
Yeah.
That wasn't her.
I thought it was like one of the boat girls. Like
Yeah, the guy, that was his film from previous boat rides with a different girl.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They found the footage.
Because they were mixing in the footage that he already had on the camera with the new footage.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Kurt.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess I misunderstood that then.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, you can, because I thought it was like that at first.
Yeah, that's great. Mitchum played the most sophisticated and mild-mannered serial killer. He genuinely scared the piss out of me. Ninja.
Well, yeah, because Mitchum played the character more as a psychological threat, you know, whereas De Niro was like a brute threat.
What about Psycho? Remember he owned the motels and he had his mother stuffed and she was dead, but she'd always talk to him. That guy, that was kind of creepy. Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, that was a little that movie was kind of misleading, right? Because you know the girl on the poster's dead in the first 15 minutes of the film,
Oh,
right?
so-
They're like, it's kind of like
Yeah.
what was that movie with Steven Seagal on the airplane? They like all the advertising had Seagal in it, but then he dies like in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
what
you know,
Russell-
I mean, honestly, thank God, because Steven Seagal couldn't act his way out of a wet paper bag. That guy's a terrible actor. And he's so fucking lazy now, you know. It's like he's like still making like fight scenes and stuff, but he's all overweight and it's like his idea of a fight scene now is he like waves his arm a little bit.
Slaps on
Right?
top
There's
of the
no
head.
footwork, there's no body movement, it's just all in the arms because that's all he can do now.
Hey, Rob78 said Return of the Living Dead 3. I know there's 1 and 2. What's up, Bull Lady? 1 and 2, but what specific thing about Return of the Living Dead 3 comes to
It's a
mind?
hot ass chick that gets
The
bitten,
girl.
like a super zombie that has conscience.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Return of the Living Dead had you know, the zombies talked in that one.
Yeah.
like spoke language, like, hey, what's up, man? Are we going to go over here today and eat this guy? Or like, brains?
I mean, it was mostly just them yelling brains,
Okay, yeah.
but they did like you know, use words to like lure rescue workers to them so they could eat them.
Rob said there's titties in that bitch.
Like
Titties.
in part two,
Yeah,
she says,
remember
"Get
the
the damn
redhead
screwdriver out of her head."
Oh, that's great.
You guys remember that scene?
Which one, bro?
Night of the Living Dead, or I'm sorry, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. It's just a head, and she's telling the cable guy to get the damn screwdriver out of her head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that scene, but which is the scene where it's the torso and the spine in the woman's head? She's already a zombie. She's on the
That's
table.
the first one.
The first, okay, and they're like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "It hurts, pain,
Yeah.
pain." But her titties are all fucking. That was great. I would like to have that 1:1 scale prop, just like right there, little animation to it and shit.
Hell yeah.
Tap the titties like this. That's great.
God, thank God this guy has the money to collect toys, or he'd be Jeffrey Dahmer.
M3.
Yeah.
Hey, do me a favor. I don't have my phone. Can you hit up Too Many?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
All right.
I'm gonna go Jeffrey Dahmer my penis.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
You're gonna break your neck.
So overall, I like watching both of them. You know, I don't watch them all the time constantly, but I like watching both Dawn of the Deads. I even like watching the original Night of the Living Dead.
Honestly, I prefer both the original Night of the Living Dead and the 90s remake
Yeah,
over
I really,
the Dawn of the Dead movies.
I really like the 90s. I think the 90s remake is a forgotten movie. Like, nobody talks about it ever.
I mean, dude, if you want your horror movie to be good, put Tony Todd in it.
Yeah.
You know, Tony Todd's fucking incredible in the horror genre.
Yeah.
You know, and how many different films has he played a fucking mortician in?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, it's crazy. But
So what do you-
yeah,
what-
I mean,
what's the
obviously
glorious-
his best horror role was Candyman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Todd's just fantastic. And yeah, both the original Night of the Living Dead and the remake are fantastic.
We have to watch the remake in a backstage.
No.
But you know, I was never afraid of zombies. Right? Like a friend of mine at the time, this girl Angie that I used to hang out with, she was terrified of zombies. You know, I mean, I could like get her terrified. Like if we're like, walking, at night in the dark, all I'd have to say was, "They're coming for you, Angela," and she would piss herself. Right? And I'm like, I don't understand why you're afraid of fucking zombies. They're fucking slow as hell.
Hey, I can give a shout out to the real Triple R. What up, Roland Redneck Reviews? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well, bro. That's great.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck yeah. I haven't talked to you in a while, man. You know my number, Triple R. You give me a little text every once in a while. Let me know you're still
What up, Triple?
What up, Triple? Great. Good to see you, man.
Triple can show you his nipple.
So, of the two movies, who has the best gore?
Has the best what?
I turn that down. Sorry. The best gore, 2004 or 78?
The best gore?
Gore, yeah.
Oh, I think 78, because more of that was practical. The 2004, 90% of their gore was digital.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but it was 2004. These digital effects weren't there yet.
Okay.
Again, that gore of 1978 is what impacted me as a child more than as an adult watching the 2004 remake. You know what I mean? Because by that time, we've all seen a lot more shit, a lot more gorier shit movies come out between 78 and 2004,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's seen Terrifier 2 at this point, like, if you get through that without being squeamish, like, I don't think there's any gore that can affect you at all.
Yeah. That's very
I
gory.
didn't realize how gory those two movies were. I just recently watched them like maybe a couple months ago.
Later, Lack.
Later, Zach.
Yeah, but again, that's gore
kinda
just for the sake of gore, right? If you're watching those movies, you're watching it to see some gruesome ass gore.
Oh yeah, that's like those 80s Italian horror movies. You want it for the gore.
It's like if you watch the Saw movies, it's because you want to see people die in interesting traps, right? You're not there for the story.
Curtis,
But you know what's funny?
What's your gore take?
What's that?
What's your gore take on the two movies? Because I'll tell mine after you.
I'm trying to think. The blood and stuff looked more real, I think, in 4, but the stuff in 78, there was more of it. It seemed like to me, like
that chunk of meat, that chunk of black meat.
Yeah, just the stuff where they're showing the zombies actually eating people's legs, like it's a chunk of
arm, the stretch.
You're like, "Arr, arr, arr," and they're
and they're tearing people's stomachs open and
exactly.
ripping their skin off, and
like, hey, in Day of the Dead when he's like, choke on me, and his voice changes as they rip his head off.
Yeah,
his vocal box.
Yeah, so 78 would be, I would think, would be the better on the gore.
Yeah, I'm with you. Savini sure is talented.
I will say that the zombies looked better in the 2004 version, because like half the zombies in the 78 version just had like gray makeup on their face.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, dude, come on, at least make them look like, give them like, gaunt features or something, make them look dead,
Oh God, I remember my uncle, my dad making fun of the Hare Krishna zombie.
Oh yeah, that zombie's hilarious.
Oh, talking about hilarious zombies, the 2004 was great with get the Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Jay Leno.
Get the Jay Leno.
But yeah, totally, bro. God, that was great.
Right, and that was another problem though, was the like passage of time. Right, it was really hard to keep track of the passage of time in the 2004 version.
Right,
because it's like you have all these fucking montages. It's like, dude, stop with the fucking montages, And then all of a sudden, we skip to Ving Rhames just playing chess with the dude across the street with Andy. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but they should have let that teenage girl die. It's like, you really went out there with our only fucking working vehicle to go get your fucking dog? Fuck you. Die, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. So the gore for me in 78 was fine. But the gore in the 2004 one, starting with the little girl that bites the neck and does the same motion and rips out some shit. You see the stringy shit, great, all the way through to where the guy that ran the gun shop across the street, when he was turned into a zombie and they infiltrated his little thing and they fucking had Zing Rames had to fucking blast his fucking it whip all over the fucking place and shit, man.
Well, he blew the top of his head off, so just as from the bottom jaw down was still there.
So
but that looks so fucking phony, man.
Okay, but so I'm just saying from my perspective of how I perceive gores in my head, right? I feel like the 2004 was way more gory, and the chainsaw. And I know you hate the scene, and it's stupid, but ripping through that girl's fucking right here, and it literally has her flayed. Oh, it's great, dude. And then the headshot from the dude that was in that family show that with Ed Bundy or Al Bundy in it and shit. And that dude, when he gets his headshot, pop right here, boom, and done. I thought that they did really good with more gory. The chainsaw going through the side and ripping zombies' fucking thighs off as they're climbing on the fucking thing, on the van as it's rolling through. The bomb, they throw the bomb and it just, that's not gore, but the gore for me was blood splattering. That's gory. Blood splattering in 2004 was more prevalent than it was in 70.
I don't know, man. And those explosions will look fake as hell too.
See, but the thing is, like 2004, 2024, that's expected. We're used to it. But in 78, seeing that kind of gore, that wasn't, you didn't see that shit ever.
You're right.
Well, like that's a great thing to bring up is the headshots, right? So in when they kill Andy, and they show his head getting blown off, and it's just his bottom jaw down left, like it looks fake as hell. Whereas the shotgun to the head in the 78 version, they actually built a model and they filled it with like dog food and like syrup and shit, and Tom Savini himself actually fired the shotgun at it, like a real shotgun at it, to explode it.
That's great.
And that head explosion, like, it looks great.
Yeah.
Right? The only one I can think that's better is the one in Scanners.
Triple R says our genre has horror movies as comedies. You're not now Triple R, but when we were 10, Triple R, were you what's your scariest movie that you think is scary? There has to be at least one. What's up, Mark Cosplay? How you doing, bro? Mark. You little you, Mark. You. There are some comedic horror movies. You're absolutely right. But as a child, I didn't think anything was funny. What was it? What would you think was funny when you were 10 that was horror related?
Freddy was funny, man. Freddy Krueger was funny.
Freddy was funny. That's why I don't take him as serious as the other slasher guys.
How could you take Robert Englund, who played in V? He was the most shyest, skittish fucking guy, the sweetest guy on V, and they chose him to do, or he wanted to do the role for Freddy, which blew my mind. I was like, wait, what? I thought this guy. Go ahead.
Robert Englund was in a zombie movie.
Which one?
Zombie Strippers.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Alexis Texas is in that. We were talking about that the other night.
Yeah, he was the guy who ran the strip club.
Alexis Texas.
That's a good comedy horror movie.
It is. So you're Phantasm. Phantasm I can't watch to this day. Oh. Now, the Phantasm that I know there's 3, and I like the one where the 2 guys end up getting together and they put 4 shotguns together and they sawed them off like a triangle, and they were able to shoot that, and then that had the balls where it go in your fucking body and be all coming out your mouth and shit, and just fucking right. Okay, Phantasm was interesting to say the least.
The one that scares the hell out of me is basically today's Democrats.
The Democrats.
Well, as far as good gore is concerned,
yes.
Hellraiser. The first 2 Hellraiser movies were excellent.
Yeah.
Like they made like 8 movies more than they needed to in that series. But the first 2 were pretty fantastic.
They were.
And
They
there were
really
titties.
were.
There were titties in that. It was great.
What about
Fleshless.
the TV series one that came out like not last year but the year before?
I never watched it.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Cool. Huh.
And I didn't watch the remake that came out. What was it, last year? 2022 maybe. Like they gender swapped Pinhead.
Oh, I don't think I saw it.
She's
Did
not
they really?
yeah, Pinhead.
That's what it says the name is in the credits.
She explained it's explained different like in the movie. So
Is it that girl from the original?
No, it's not.
Or the character? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a remake. It's not a it's not a
total straight
continuation.
remake.
It's a straight remake.
Well, he got it's him, but he's let's just say basically he got like a sex change.
Oh God. Hey, Big M says new Hellraiser was okay.
Yeah. The new Hellraiser wasn't bad. It was better than I thought it was going to be. That's what.
It was better than the like last 8 sequels, but you know,
yeah.
It's nowhere near the original.
Well, and to be fair, Hellraiser's a demon now in demon form. Demons
Uncle
don't
Frank.
have genders, so they can be female or male at any time. They don't have to be anything right. So I could follow a storyline if they had something.
That's basically what it points out to be in the movie, like.
Well, but they established in the second one that the Cenobites were people at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
They all were people at some point, but they end up turning into demons.
Right? Because at the end of the second one,
the box.
Kristen kind of turns Pinhead into a good guy by showing him his humanity. And, you know, they wind up going up against the Dr. Cenobite. You know, which was
that was my favorite one.
Yeah.
The doctor, he had that chair and he floated around and he was like
Yeah. The blood is my paint and the flesh is my canvas.
The way that her stepmother gets like ripped out of her own skin.
Yeah.
And then Kristen puts on her skin. So gross.
Yes.
Zeta TF says he needs the Hellbound heart. The Hellbound heart. What is that?
Hellraiser.
But honestly, I think the goriest movie that I've ever seen in my life was Cannibal Holocaust.
That's crazy. How sick, nasty movie.
That's a movie I don't ever need to see again.
I don't ever want to watch that movie.
Lone Dragon.
What can be unburdened by what has been?
Cannibal Holocaust. Dude, they thought they used real people in that movie because it was so. They banned it there for a while and everything.
Zeta said the Hellbound Heart is a book that Hellraiser is based on. Oh, you guys with your books. What the fuck, man? That's great.
Oh, yeah. Blame us for you not reading anything.
M3, you don't read?
No, I bought the
No, but yeah, Frank, what you were talking with Cannibal Holocaust being banned.
Yeah.
The director actually got arrested.
Yes.
In Italy over that film because the authorities genuinely thought it was a snuff film, and he had to bring the actors in and prove they were still alive in order to get released.
No,
True story. Yep.
That is crazy. Come on. Yeah. That's how
that kind of stuff wasn't seen then.
Hyper realistic gore. Wow. Like they literally like cut a dude's penis off in it, and it looks real as hell. They show the whole thing too.
Let's look it up, Kurt. Bring it on the.
No, don't do that, Curtis. You're gonna get your channel knocked down if you show that.
That's great. Zeta black. The color black is the color nerd. The color orange. What is it? How would I present that? Nerd. Cool is the new nerd. Yeah.
The real Triple R. What's going on in the chat?
Books are awesome sauce. Fucking Triple R2 down. Dead Alive.
Yeah, dude. Books are the shit.
That's great.
Theater of the mind, bro.
Yeah,
right.
but
And speaking of books and shit, books come in really handy if you're out of toilet paper.
the last page looks like a zigzag. It's as thin as a zigzag. But grab that one.
Yeah, I've never had the balls to use a Bible page to roll a joint in when I was out. Never had the balls to do it.
Never.
I did when I was younger, but never a page that had script on it. I took the empty pages from the back of the Bible.
Yeah,
You remember, like, the Bibles had like a few blank pages at the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the ones that I used when I didn't have rolling papers.
And they had the picture protectors too that were like kind of like thin too. You know, there's that thin piece of paper that's on top of a photo, a colored photo. Predominantly, obviously, in a Catholic Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we rolled a joint with that paper just because we thought it would work, but it's not rolling paper. It does not burn like it's supposed to.
No, it goes
So
pretty damn quick.
it's I don't recommend it. Like, don't take even the blank pages out of the back. It does not work well. And the joint tasted horrible.
Just take your ass to Circle K and get some papers.
Right? Walk to the gas station, spend the $1.50.
Right.
Grab your 1.25s. And I'm sorry, but if you're grabbing a 1.5, then you don't know how to roll a joint.
Do you remember Randy's? I wonder if they still make Randy's rolling papers.
That with the ones with the wire in it.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
Yeah,
in
they
a
still
second.
make them.
they do. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. They said they do make them.
Yeah, they do still make them. The smoke shop I go to get my vape stuff
Yeah,
has those in there.
I want to go hunt those down. I haven't had one of those in decades.
Yeah, they did make it convenient because you could smoke it all the way to the bottom. You know, you just hold it by the wires so you don't have to pinch a tiny roach and burn your fingers.
Yeah. And it just resonated better too, for some reason, as you smoked it.
But yeah, if I had to say, like, if I had to pick like a top 3 zombie movies of all time, for me, it's probably Zombieland, the Night of the Living Dead remake from the 90s, and number 1 is Train to Busan.
Okay, so my number 3 was Train to Busan. My number 2 would be Land of the Dead, and then number 1 would be the '78 Dawn of the Dead, just because that's the one that impacted me, and to this day I'm terrified. I can't even go to a haunted house. We go to haunted houses, you know, but when we get to the zombie parts, I just freak the shit out, and I love it. I remember last time we went Banger, I was telling you, there's not a whole lot of things that scare me anymore. Like you were saying earlier, Prophet, the Freddy's and the Jason movies and all that stuff nowadays, that's become fun. You want to see those kills, you know what I mean? You want to see how that teenager couple gets speared through the bed, you know, stuff like that. But it's that one genre that stuck me through all these years. Where to this day I still have zombies stuff everywhere, you know.
Yeah, when I'm watching a horror movie, like, you either have to, you know, give me some genuine suspense and actually scare me, or make the kills really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, I'll give an example of both. It Chapter 1. That did a great job with the horror, like with the, you know, the build up to suspense. It wasn't just jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll give a great example when Ben is in the library and he's flipping through the book and he sees the page after where the explosion happened and the kid's head is in the tree, and then he follows the balloon down into the basement, and you see the kid coming down the stairs and he stops where you can't see above his shoulders, and then he takes another step down and you see that his head is missing. and he like drops a couple of Easter eggs, and you know it's the kid from the book that Ben was just reading that had his head blown into the tree.
I never picked up on that.
Yeah, that's suspense. That's the type of suspense building that's actually scary. Now, Chapter 2 was not able to capture that. It was just gross out horror and jump scares. But the first one with the kids, amazing. And then when we're talking about interesting kills, I go to the Final Destination franchise. You know, all those kills are fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, I think we use the Final Destination reference every day of our lives. You know, like, nope, I seen that that's Final Destination shit right there. I'm out of here.
And those movies are fantastic because you get like this amazing mass kill at the beginning, and then it gets rewound, and then you get to see all those people die again, you know, throughout the course of the film. The best opener for any of those is the second one with the highway crash.
That's the one I was thinking of too, and I was saying with the timber log truck.
So good. Like, all starts with that log truck dropping the log and killing the cop.
That's how it is here, man. So I have to get on the freeway, and I have to get on the 25, and it's behind a timber log. It's like, oh shit, I've seen this movie. Got to get away from this guy.
Right. And yeah, all the deaths on the highway were horrific. And then you get these awesome fucking deaths throughout the movie, you know? And it's great because you never know when the death is coming, because they keep leading you to think it's going to be this, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. And then something completely different is what kills them, you know? Like, for example, the kid in the dentist office, you know, there's all these things that could kill him in the dentist office. And then he goes outside and chases some pigeons and gets splattered by a giant pane of glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tony Todd plays a mortician in them.
Hey guys, I got to go.
Okay.
My dog broke the chain, must have went after an animal or something, so I gotta go find her again.
All right, I guess we're calling it quits a little early tonight.
Yeah.
Curtis, if you do a backstage later, I'm up. I'll probably jump on Kaz's in 10 minutes and just listen and chat and maybe jump on, see what's going on. But if you got anything going on, that's cool.
Okay.
Prophet and Motoviper and Curtis, thanks for doing Halloween Bangers in July. I really like the horror movies. Kurt, I think you had a good idea with doing it in July and keeping it at an hour and 15 minutes. Perfect. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, guys.
It was good. Thanks for everybody in the chat, especially all the participation that's going on.
Hell yeah.
Yo, can I give a shout out to chat real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Belucius, Ninja Bill, Doe Studios, Lone Dragon, the real Triple R, not the fake Triple R, Zeta, Rob78, fucking Mark Cosplay. We got Big M was here, Casual was here.
Yeah.
Look it up. TKD Bar was here. Zeta was here. Daniel Barry Sports was here. You guys, thank you very much for coming. Bull 80 was here. What up, Bull 80? We'll see you in a little bit, man.
Mark Cosplay.
Yeah, Mark Cosplay, Lack Sivrak, man. You guys are great.
That's awesome.
Thanks for chilling with us tonight, and wait for October, because Kurt promised we're not going to do another Halloween Bangers till October.
I didn't say that. Probably gonna start like.
Have a good night.
2 weekends before August ends.
Right. And guys, keep in mind, I believe Curtis and I are planning on doing the ranking of the top 10 of each of our top 10 movies for 1980, not the 80s plural, the specific year 1980. Next weekend.
Yes.
I'm down. I'd like to be in on that.
Well, get me a list.
Cool.
Okay, I'll get a new list over. I totally did the 80s.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be the four of us, Taskmaster, and then my friend Sean. I'm going to bring him on it too.
Cool.
So we got our 6 panel members there.
Word.
Because everyone else who said they wanted to be interested, they've had a month to get me their list, and they've given me nothing. So
I got my list. I just got it explained.
Just make sure you guys get me your lists, your top 10 from 1980. Within the next couple of days, so that I can pull the movie posters for them, so we have something to drop in the ranking software.
Cool.
Yeah, and it can be any genre, right? You don't have to be like just horror. Or
any genre. It just has to have been. It has to have been released in 1980,
Right?
not 1981 or 85. 1980. I want to be very clear about that, because apparently some people had a lot of problems with that very simple instruction.
Me and Moto. Hello.
Yes, I'm pointing my middle finger at one of the people right now.
That's great, Kurt. I hope
Yeah.
I hope you deal with your dogs in a good. I hope everything happens right. That they're not one of them didn't fucking go too far.
Yeah, just one of them broke. That's why I went upstairs, because I heard her barking like crazy, and it was echoing through the fort, the little woods.
Yeah.
Hey, look at
Hey man, go get Cujo before she eats your neighbor.
Yeah.
Wait, Prophet Lone Dragon said, "Wait, there were movies in 19 AD."
That's awesome.
No, there weren't, but apparently there's dipshits in 2024.
On that note, bye, you guys.
Sorry,
Later.
I'm just fucking
All
with
right.
you, man.
Thanks, guys. It was
All right,
great.
have a good one, people.
Have a good one. Take care.
Kurt, I hope everything goes well, man. Good luck.
Thanks.
I'll see you in Kaz if everything goes well. Huh?
Okay.
Later, bro.